Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, for the record, this opening of bids is conducted pursuant to sections 58 and 59 of the IRR of RA 12009. And for everyone's information, this opening of bids is video recorded and live streamed in our official YouTube channel pursuant to section 38 of the same IRR and DPWH DEO number 6 series of 2024. And also, for the record, Mr. Chair, we have issued a notice of cancellation for procurement activities for contract IDs 26IG0048 and 0050 due to supervening concerns affecting the project scope, location, design, and/or implementation of these two projects. So these are part of supposedly for this batch of procurement, but it was canceled already, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, you may begin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Javier. The green beach for 26 IG 46 and 26 IG 47 and 26 IG 49 is hereby called order at 10:08 in the morning, June 25, 2026 at meeting room, procurement building this office. And Secretariat, please conduct the roll.
Yes, Mr. Chair. As a matter of procedure, please respond with present and raise your hand once your name is called to acknowledge your attendance and to determine whether a quorum is established. For the Bids and Awards Committee, the chairperson is on leave, Engineer John C. Sabilino. We have the vice chairperson presiding, Engineer Delphin L. Uy Jr.
Present.
And regular members, Engineer Binibici Orapa, Engineer Avelina D. Molabola, and Engineer Jeffrey F. Pitana. We also have provisional members, Engineer Mike J. Pilola, and Engineer Sam John C. Catolico. For the technical working group, we have the head, Engineer Karen Joy G. Ramos, and the members, Engineer Noel A. Cornetes, Mrs. Flor Delis A. Castro, and Engineer Mero Desiree M. Velasco. For the Secretariat, yours truly, Engineer Emmanuel Marisacro. Procurement staff, Engineer Azilan Serra, Ms. Maria de Viviana Loreto, Mrs. Remedios Biginguni, Mr. Mark Anthony Abdurilla, and Mr. Carlos C. Diaz. For the observers, Mr. Chair, we have duly invited them in writing, but none attended in person, and there are no representatives from the participating bidders. So, Mr. Chair, for this opening of bids, 6 out of 7 members of the committee are present. A quorum hereby exists. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretary. The box shall proceed as a collegial body. The Secretariat is directed to record all actions, questions, clarifications, motions, and agreements per procurement project per contract ID. And Secretariat, please read the agenda.
So the following are the agenda items for today's opening of bids. Agenda 1, call to order. Agenda 2, opening and preliminary examination of bids, particularly the first and technical envelopes. Agenda 3, reading of bids and approved budget for the contract. Agenda 4, comments or reactions from bidders, back members, observers. And Agenda 5, adjournment. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. May I hear a motion to adopt the agenda as read?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
None.
There being none, the agenda is adopted. We now proceed to agenda 2, which is the opening and preliminary examination of bids. Before we open any bids, let us place on record the status of bid submission. The deadline for submission of the receipt of bid was at
10 a.m.
10 a.m. on June 25, 2026 at bidding rooms, procurement building as stated in the invitation to bid and bidding documents. The BAC through the BAC Secretariat received bids only up to the stated deadline as evidenced by the date and time stamp received by BAC Secretariat. No bid submitted after the deadline was accepted. Any attempted late submission, if any, shall be recorded in the minutes with the bidder's name, representative, and time of attempted submission. For the guidance of everyone under Agenda 2, we will complete the opening and preliminary examination of the first technical envelopes for all contract IDs before proceeding to Agenda 3. We'll take up the contracts at one at a time. There is contract ID. The Secretariat will report the date, time, and how many bids to receive and from whom. The procurement unit staff will retrieve the envelopes with that contract ID from the bid box and hand them to the TWG. The TWG will open only the first technical envelopes and conduct the manual preliminary examination using the checklist and non-discretionary pass-fail criterion. For civil works, the Secretariat will conduct the CWA electronic processing and print the generated result. The back chairs shall read the CWA results into the record. The CWA results shall be separately read and reconciled before back action. The TWG's recommendation shall be limited to the manual preliminary examination of documents actually submitted in the first technical envelope. The second financial envelopes shall remain unopened until agenda 3. So Secretariat, kindly summarize the eligibility processing under DPWH DEO number 164, series of 2025 and the rules in case of discrepancy between the bidders' submitted documents and the results of the CWA.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So, as per DO 164 series of 2025, after the first technical envelope is opened, the BAC PWG will conduct the manual preliminary examination of the eligibility and technical documents. The Secretariat will simultaneously conduct the CWA electronic eligibility. The CWA electronic eligibility result will not replace the manual preliminary examination of the first technical envelope. If the bidder submitted documents in the first technical envelope that are not yet reflected in the CWA, the BAC will direct the Secretariat to facilitate the request for unlocking. The CWA unlocking or reprocessing shall be based only on those submitted documents in the first and technical envelopes. It will not be used to accept, substitute, or cure a document that was not submitted or was patently insufficient during the bid opening. If the CWA, PCMA, and the bidder's statement of all ongoing private contracts do not match, the discrepancy shall be recorded and later reconciled and validated during the post-qualification stage. This is without prejudice to the BAC's action during this opening based on the bidding documents and applicable DPWH rule. So once the CWA record is updated and reprocessed, the resulting electronic eligibility result shall govern the bidder's final eligibility for civil works at any stage of the bidding process. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So Secretariat will take up the first contract ID, which is the 26 ID 0046. The construction of multi-purpose building covered for Barangay Malaguicay, Abuyog, Leyte.
So yes, Mr. Chair, the Secretariat received two bids from the following participating bidders, namely Justin Enterprises, received today at 8:30 a.m., and Hardline Builders and Sale, received today at 8:52 a.m. No other bids were received, Mr. Chair, and the envelopes were stamped received by the Secretary.
Okay, thank you. So procurement unit staff, please retrieve all bid envelope for this contract ID and hand them to the TWG.
Mr. Chair, for the record, we confirm that the sent to us corresponds to leaders identified with the Secretariat for this contract ID and with the BAC Secretariat's received staff.
Thank you, TWG. So please open the first technical envelope of each bidder and announce the required documents and state check not submitted or with deficiency. And Secretariat can reach the findings, the checklist on screen and in minutes.
For Justin Enterprises, the first ornamental envelope for contract of number 86 ID 0046. We will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents. Jeffs, valid until August 12, 2023. Correct. Statement of all ongoing completed government and private contracts. Correct. SLCC check. DPI valid until December 21, 2026. Yung pickup license valid until May 17, 2028. Check. Tax clearance valid until June 25, 2026. Business permit valid until December 31, 2026. Check. NFCC check. ESD check. Organizational chart check. Contractors key personnel check. List of contractors major construction and laboratory equipment unit check. List of contractors minimum materials testing equipment unit check. Umibos source equipment check. Audited financial statement check. For just in enterprises, the technical envelope was examined against the checklist and found to be complete and in order. The bank DPWH therefore initially recommends with just in enterprises be declared compliant with the technical requirements and rate and pass in the manual preliminary examination of the first or technical envelope with the contract ID, subject to the result of the CWA electronic legibility check.
Okay, thank you. DWG, next bidder, please.
For hardline builders and sales, the first or the technical envelope for contract ID number 26 IG 0746. We will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents. Field trips valid until March 28, 2027. DPI valid until September 24, 2027. Business permit valid until December 31, 2026. Tax clearance valid until November 27, 2026. Audited financial statement check. Statement of all ongoing government and private construction contracts check. SLCC check. Pickup license valid until 31, 2027 check. PSD check. Organizational chart check. List of contractors pay personnel check. List of major equipment check. List of contractors minimum materials testing units check. Omnibus sourcing check. NFCC check. For hardline builders and sales, the technical envelope was examined against the checklist and found to be complete and in order. The bank PWD therefore initially recommends that hardline builders and sales be declared compliant with technical requirements and rated path. In the manual preliminary examination of the first or technical envelope for this contract ID, subject to the result of the CWA electronic.
The TWG, Secretariat for the record of this established in the CWE electronic eligibility processing for contract ID number 26ID0746.
Mr. Chair, for the record, the CWA is not yet available at this time and is still being processed.
Okay, thank you. So let's go to the next contract ID. Please, contract ID number 26ID0047. Construction of two-story multi-purpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay Calumpang, Matalom, Leyte. And Secretariat, please project the picture to this contract ID and state how many bids were received and from whom.
Yes, Mr. Chair, so for the record, the back to the Secretariat received 2 bids from the following participating bidders. Namely, A State Construction received today at 8:41 a.m. and Astilia Construction and Supply received today at 8:58 a.m. No other bids were received for this contract, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So, procurement team and staff, please retrieve all bidding envelopes for the contract ID and hand them to the PWG.
Please give the section. Still, sentence.
Stakeholder for the record, we confirm that the bid envelopes handed to us corresponds to leaders identified in Secretariat for the contract ID and the bank secretariat's staff.
Okay, thank you, PWG. Let's open the first envelope, announce required documents and state check not submitted or with PWG. And Secretariat can record the findings of secret full screen and in the minutes.
For ACES Copy Construction, the first order technical envelope for contract ID number 6ID0047. We will now examine the following against the techniques in the requirement. Will Jeffs, valid until 19 statement of all ongoing not certain awarded documents, private contracts, check. SLCC, check. EPI, valid until July 26, 2029, check. ECOG license, valid until April 12, 2029, check. Tax clearance, valid until June 1, 2027, check. Business permit, valid until December 31, 2026, check. Audited financial statement, check. And FCC, check. B securities, BSD, check. Organizational chart, check. List of key personnel, check. List of contractors, major construction and laboratory units, check. List of contractors, minimum material, testing units, check. Omnibus or equipment, check. For APIS Cafe Construction, the technical envelope was examined against the checklist and found to be complete and in order. The bank TWG therefore usually recommends that APIS Cafe Construction be declared compliant with the technical requirement rated pass. In the manual preliminary examination of the first or technical envelope for contract ID, subject to the result of the CWA electronic
Okay, thank you, DPWH. Next bidder, please.
For Astilia Construction and Supply, the first or the technical envelope for contract ID number 26IG0047. We will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents. Projects valid until February 18, 2027. List of ongoing government and private construction contracts. Check. ECAP license valid until October 3, 2027. Check. Bid securities BSD. Check. Organizational chart. Check. List of contractors in personnel. Check. List of contractors major equipment. Check. Availability of minimum materials testing equipment. Check. Omnibus sworn statements. Check. NFCC. Check. SLCC. Check. DTI valid until January 19, 2028. Check. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2020. Check. Tax clearance valid until December 22, 2026. Check. Audited financial statement filed last March 27, 2026. Check. For Astilia Construction and Supply, the technical envelope was examined against the checklist and found to be complete and in order. The DPWH therefore usually recommends that Astilia Construction and Supply be declared compliant with the technical requirements of unit pass in the manual preliminary examination of the first or technical envelope first contract ID, subject to the result of the CWA electronic review.
Okay, thank you, DPWH. Secretariat, what is the status of the CWA eligibility screening for contract ID number 26IG0047?
Mr. Chair, as of this time, the CWA electronic eligibility processing for both contracts 26IG0046 and 47 and 48 is already available, Mr. Chair, for your signature.
Okay. Thank you.
May I be given a moment, Mr. Chair, to conduct a recheck before we proceed?
The other contract ID?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, next contract ID is the 26ID0049. The construction of two-story multi-purpose building Barangay Hall, Barangay Bayabas, Abuyog, Leyte. Secretariat, please project the request for this contract ID and show how many bids were received and from whom.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So for contract ID 26IG0049, the Secretariat received 2 bids from the following participating bidders, namely Rag Builders received today at 8:50 a.m. and Steel Construction received today at 8:54 a.m. No other bids were received, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So the commenting staff, please retrieve all bid envelopes, this contract ID and hand them to the DPWH.
Construction.
Mr. Chair, for the record, confirm that the deed envelopes handed to us corresponds with the identified with secretariat for this contract ID and with the back secretariat.
Okay, Chief Jim, to open the first to that in below. Ang announce the record document the state check not submitted or which agency and secretariat can you read the findings the checklist and screen in the minutes.
For raw builders and supply, the first technical envelope for contract ID number 6 IG 0049 will now be found in the following sections of the required document. New jets, valid and free, December 6. I valid envelope. Business permit valid until December 31, 2026. Bank Yuan valid until July 29, 2026. Audited financial statement. NFCC check. List of ongoing projects. SLCC check. Each job license valid until October 24, 2028. Bid securities PSD check. Organizational chart check. List of contractors pay personnel check. List of contractors under construction laboratory treatment units check. Availability of minimum material plastic equipment check. Omnibus short statement check. For raw builders and supply, the technical envelope was examined against the checklist and found to be complete and in order. The DPWH therefore initially recommends that raw builders and supply be declared compliant. The technical report was rated pass in the manual preliminary examination of the first or technical envelope for this contract ID, subject to the results of the DPWA electronically.
Okay, thank you, TWG. Next, bidder please.
For steel and steel construction, the first order technical envelope for contract ID number 26 I3 0049, you will now examine the policies and detect the recording of accident. Steel jets valid until April 4, 2027. DPI valid until May 8, 2028. Check. Business permit valid until December 31, 2026. Tax clearance valid until May 11, 2027. Check. Audited financial statement. Check. Income license valid until March 23, 2023. Check. List of all ongoing government and private construction contracts, check. SLCC, check. Bid securities, PSD, check. Organizational chart, check. List of contractors, key personnel, check. List of contractors, major construction equipment units, check. only Bosorn statement check. NFCC check. These are material system equipment for silk and steel construction, the technical envelope was examined against technical count to be complete and in order. The BPWH therefore officially recommends that silk and steel construction be declared compliant with the technical requirements rated as in the manual preliminary examination of the first or technical envelope for this contract ID, subject to the result of the CWA electronic verification.
Okay, thank you, DPWH. So for the record, I read the CWA electronic eligibility result for contract ID number 26 ID 0046 for hardline builders and sales. Pickup license valid until July 1, 2027. Pickup registration valid until May 31, 2027. Work experience pass, NFCC pass. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI SEC CDA valid until September 24, 2029. BIR tax clearance certificate valid until November 27, 2026, and PhilJet's registration valid until March 28, 2026. Which is expired and hardline builders and sales is ineligible. So so DWG, please verify if the verification hardline just PhilJet's registration PhilJet's is expired or not, which is then it put March 28, 2026. That will be come in the submitted document.
Future's registration attached is valid until March 28, 2027.
Okay. So,
Mr. Chair, let's verify as well the attached list of documents, Mr. Chair, in annex of the field jet. Mr. Chair, for the record, may we request the PWG if the field jets, including Annex A, are all valid?
DTI certificate valid until September 24, 2029. Mayor's permit is December 31, 2026. Tax clearance is November 27, 2026. Audited financial statement May 13, 2026, and pickup license is valid until July 1, 2027. All valid.
so for Justin Enterprises, pickup license valid until source for the name licensing license in the DPWH is not valid. The pickup registration valid until May 17, 2028. Work experience pass. NFCC pass. NEOS permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI 6 CDA valid until December 21, 2026. BIR tax clearance valid until June 25, 2026. And PhilGIP's precision certificate number valid until August 12, 2026.
Mr. Chair, may we request the TWG if the pickup reflects specialty for the similar to the project. The project is multi-purpose building.
The pickup license attached includes building and industrial plants, small buildings, Mr. Chair. It's valid until May 17, 2028.
So as far as the result for the CW historic eligibility, Justin Enterprises is ineligible. So for Justin Enterprises, the TWG earlier recommended that the bidder be declared compliant. They were not read the technical requirements and rated pass in the manual preliminary examination. However, the CW shows the bidder is ineligible due to because the pickup license is under the license the DPWH Leyte is not valid. TWG can be confirmed for the record if Justin Enterprises has submitted as part of their first physical envelope the valid and updated version and expired updated documents shown in the CW result.
I confirm, Mr. Chair, that they attach the valid buildings, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Pickup license.
Okay, thank you. For the record, the TWG confirms the documents needed to update or reprocess the CW record were actually submitted as part of the bidder's first technical envelope before the deadline for submission and the CW bids, namely the pickup. This finding is based on record pursuant to DPWH Department Order Number 164 Series of 2025, which allows updating the processing based on material eligibility information during submitting the bid, but not yet included in CWA. The matter is referred to the back for action. May I hear a motion to declare Justin Enterprises compliant to the technical requirements and rated pass for purposes of opening the second financial envelope under Agenda 3. Back Secretariat facilitate the request for unlocking the processing of the CWA eligibility result at the soonest possible time using only the documents submitted in the bidder's first technical envelope and record that the bidder's final eligibility shall depend on the result of the CWA unlocking, reprocessing, and under validation in the subsequent stages, including detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification as applicable. The matter is referred to the back for action. May I hear a motion to?
So, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
None, Mr. Chair.
There being none, the motion is carried. Accordingly, Justin Enterprises is declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass for purposes of opening the second financial envelope under Agenda 3. The bidder's final eligibility for the civil works contract shall depend on the CWA unlocking reprocessing result and the controlling electronic eligibility result under applicable DPWH rules and bidding documents. The back Secretariat is directed to prepare and transmit the appropriate request for unlocking reprocessing with certified true copies of the relevant documents that form part of the bidder's timely submitted first technical envelope. No new, substitute, or late documents shall be accepted for this purpose. Any discrepancy between the CWA PCMA record and the bidder statement of all ongoing government and private contracts shall be included in the matters for reconciliation and validation during post-qualification. So, let's go to
Hardline builders.
hardline builders and sales. For hardline builders and sales, the TWG earlier recommended that the bidder be declared passed in the manual preliminary examination. However, the CWA result shows that the bidder is ineligible due to Belgium expired March 28, 2026. And TWG kindly confirm for the record if the hardline builders has submitted as part of their first technical envelope the valid and updated version for the expired or outdated documents shown in the CWA result.
Yes, Mr. Chair, confirm that they attach a valid and or updated version of the expired documents, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, TWG, for the record. The TWG confirms the documents needed to update or reprocess the CWA record were actually submitted as part of the bidder's first technical envelope before the deadline for submission and the receipt of bids, namely the Philjips submitted documents. This finding is placed in record pursuant to DPWH DEO number 164, series of 2025, which allows updating, reprocessing based on material eligibility information during submitted to the bid but not yet included in CWA. The matter is referred to the back for action. May I hear a motion to declare hardline builders and sales compliant with the technical requirements and rated passed for purposes of opening the second financial envelope under Agenda 3. And the back secretariat will facilitate the request for unlocking reprocessing of the CWA electronic eligibility result at the soonest possible time using only the documents submitted in the bidder's first technical envelope, and record that the bidder's final eligibility shall depend on the result of the CWA unlocking, reprocessing, and other validation in the subsequent stages, including detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification as applicable. The matter is referred to that for action. May I hear a motion?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
None.
There being none, the motion is carried. Accordingly, hardline builders and sales is declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated passed for purposes of opening and the second financial envelope under Agenda 3. The bidder's final eligibility for the civil works contract shall depend on the CWA unlocking reprocessing result and the controlling electronic eligibility result under applicable DPWH rules and the bidding document. The box secretariat is directed to prepare and transmit the appropriate request for the bidder's timely submitted first technical envelope. No new substitute late documents shall be accepted for this purpose. Any discrepancy between the CWA TCMA record and the bidder's statement of all ongoing government and private contract shall be included in the matters for reconciliation and validation during post-qualification. So that's for contract ID number 46 46. So let's go to the next contract ID, which is contract ID 26 ID 0047. For the record, we now read the CWA electronic eligibility result for contract ID number 26 ID 0047. For Astilia Construction and Supply, pickup license valid until October 3, 2026. Pickup registration valid until October 3, 2027. Work experience pass. NFCC pass. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI6 CDA valid until January 19, 2028. BIR tax clearance certificate valid until December 22, 2026, and PhilJEP's registration certificate valid until February 18, 2027, and Astilia Construction and Supply is eligible. For Ascape Construction, pickup license valid until March 9, 2027, pickup registration valid until April 12, 2029, work experience passed, NFCC passed, Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026, DTI SEC CDA valid until July 26, 2029, BIR tax clearance certificate valid until June 1, 2027, and PhilJEP's registration certificate valid until June 9, 2027, and Escape Construction is eligible. So for Astilia Construction and Supply, the TWG earlier recommended that the bidder be declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass in the manual preliminary examination. The CWA result likewise shows the bidder as eligible. The matter is referred to the back for action. May I hear a motion to declare Astilia Construction and Supply compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass for the first technical envelope for contract ID number 26IG0047.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
None.
There being none, the motion is carried. Accordingly, Astilia Construction and Supply is declared compliant to the technical requirements and rated pass. Its second financial envelope shall remain sealed for now and shall be opened under Agenda 3. For Escape Construction, the TWJ earlier recommended that the bidder be declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass in the manual preliminary examination. The CW result likewise shows the bidder as eligible. The matter is referred to the back for action. May I hear a motion to declare Escape Construction compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass for the first technical envelope for contract ID number 26IG0047.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
None, Mr. Chair.
There being none, the motion is carried. Accordingly, Escape Construction is declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass. Its second financial envelope shall remain sealed for now and shall be opened under Agenda 3. So let's go to the last contract ID. For the record, I will now read the CWA electronic eligibility result for contract ID number 26IG0049. So for Rob Builders, pickup license valid until October 24, 2026. Pickup registration valid until October 24, 2028. Work experience passed. NFCC passed. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI SEC CDA valid until August 18, 2028. BIR tax clearance certificate valid until July 29, 2026. And PhilJEP's registration certificate valid until September 6, 2026. And Rob Builders and Supply is eligible. For silk and steel construction, pickup license valid until August 14, 2026. Pickup registration valid until March 23, 2028. Work experience passed. NFCC passed. Mayor's permit valid until December 31, 2026. DTI SEC CDA valid until May 8, 2028. BIR tax clearance certificate valid until May 11, 2027. And PhilJEP's registration certificate valid until April 4, 2027. And silk and steel construction is eligible. For Rob Builders, the TWG earlier recommended that the bidder be declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass in the manual preliminary examination. The CWA result likewise shows the bidder as eligible. The matter is referred to the back for action. May I hear a motion to declare Rob Builders compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass for the first technical envelope for contract ID 26IG0049.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
None, Mr.
There being none, the motion is carried. Accordingly, Rob Builders is declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass. A second financial envelope shall remain sealed for now and shall be opened under Agenda 3. So for Stealth and Steel Construction, the PWG earlier recommended the bidder be declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass in the manual preliminary examination. The CWA result likewise shows the bidder as eligible. The matter is referred to the back for action. And may I hear a motion to declare Silk and Steel Construction compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass for the first technical envelope for the contract ID number 26IG0049.
So moved, Mr. Second, Mr.
Any objection?
None, Mr.
There being none, the motion is carried. Accordingly, Silk and Steel Construction is declared compliant with the technical requirements and rated pass. A second financial envelope shall be sealed for now and shall be opened under Agenda 3. So for the record, the BAC has completed the opening and preliminary examination on the practical envelopes for all contract IDs included in today's opening of bids. Only the second financial envelopes of bidders whose first technical envelopes were rated pass and whose contract IDs are cleared for Agenda 3 shall be opened. So we now proceed to Agenda 3. Under this agenda, the BAC shall open only the second financial envelopes of bidders whose first technical envelopes were rated pass under Agenda 2. We shall proceed per contract ID following the same order taken up under Agenda 2. So for contract ID number 26IG0046, construction of multi-purpose building covered court, Barangay Malaguicay, Abuyog, Leyte. The approved budget for the contract is Philippine pesos in amount of 4,899,954 pesos and 42 centavos, inclusive of all applicable taxes. Secretariat, please state for the record which bidder rated pass with the first technical envelope states and whose second financial envelopes will be opened.
Yes, Mr. Chair, so for contract ID 26IG0046, all participating bidders, namely Justin Enterprises and Hardline Builders and Sales, were rated passed under Agenda 2 and are cleared for opening under this agenda.
Okay, thank you. We now proceed with the second financial envelope of Justin Enterprises for contract ID number 26IG0046. TWG, please confirm that the envelope you are holding is the financial envelope of Justin Enterprises.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we confirm that the second or the financial envelope of Justin Enterprises, with your permission, we will open the envelope and conduct the preliminary check of the financial statement.
Okay, TWG may proceed and please announce the presence or absence of the required financial documents. Secretariat can record the entries, the final checklist on screen and in the minutes.
For Justin Enterprises, the second or the financial envelope for contract ID number 26IG0046, we will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents. Bid form, check. Bill of quantities, check. Summary of bid prices, check. Detailed estimates, check. Cash flow by quarter, check. Mr. Chair, for Justin Enterprises, the required financial documents are complete and in order for the purpose of preliminary examination, and the total bid price does not exceed the ABC, subject to the detailed bid evaluation and resolution.
Okay, thank you, TWG. So for Justin Enterprises, bid amount in words, 4,890,000 pesos only. In words, 4,890,000 pesos only. In figure, 4,890,000, period In figure 4, 890, 000, period 00. We now proceed with the second financial envelope of Hardline Builders and Sales for contract ID number 26IG0046. TWG, please confirm that the envelope you're holding is the financial envelope of Hardline Builders and Sales.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is the second or the financial envelope of Hardline Builders and Sales for contract ID number 267046. We will now examine the following against the checklist with the required documents. Mr. Chair.
Okay, you may proceed.
Bid form, check. Bid of quantities, check. Summary of bid prices, check. Detailed estimates, check. And cash flow by sector, check. Mr. Chair, for Hardline Builders and Sales, the required financial documents are complete and in order to the purpose of preliminary examination. And the total bid price does not exceed the ABC, subject to the detailed bid evaluation and arithmetic correction.
Okay, thank you, TWG. For Hardline Builders and Sales, bid amount in words, 4,896,963 pesos and 58 centavos. In words, 4,896,963 pesos and 58 centavos. In figure 4, 896, 963, period 58. In figure 4, 896, 963, period 58. These bid prices are bids as read only and shall be reflected in the abstract of bids as read for contract ID number 26IG46. No bidder is declared LCB or LCRB at this stage. Detailed bid evaluation, arithmetic correction, verification, and post-qualification shall follow in accordance with the IRR and the bidding documents. We shall proceed to contract ID number 26IG0047. The construction of two-story multi-purpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay Calumpang, Matalom, Leyte. The approved budget for the contract is in Philippine peso in amount of 4,949,941 pesos and 39 centavos, inclusive of all applicable taxes. Secretariat, please state for the record which bidders were indeed passed. The first technical envelope states and the second financial envelope will be open.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So for the record, all participating bidders for this contract, namely Escape Construction and Astilia Construction and Supply, were rated pass during the preliminary examination of their first technical envelope. Hence, their second envelope is cleared for opening under this agenda.
Okay. We now proceed with the second financial envelope of Escape Construction for contract ID number 26IG0047. So TWG, please confirm that the envelope you are holding is the financial envelope of Escape Construction.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we confirm that this is the second or the financial envelope of a construction. With your permission, we will open the envelope and conduct the preliminary check of the financial profile.
Yes, we may proceed. Please announce the presence of absence or the required financial documents and Secretary can record the entries in the final checklist on screen and in the minutes.
For Aces Cafe Construction, the second or the financial envelope for contract ID number 86IG0047 will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents. Bid form, check. Bill of quantity, check. Summary of bid prices, check. Detailed estimates, check. Cash flow by quarter, check. For ACES Cafe Construction, the required financial documents are complete and in order for the purpose of preliminary examination and the total bid price does not exceed the ABC, subject to the detailed bid evaluation and related corrections.
Okay, thank you. So for Escape Construction, bid amount in words, 4,941,750 pesos only. 4,941,750 pesos only. In figure 4,941,750 period 00. In figure 4,941,750 period 00. So let's go to the other bidder for contract ID number. We will proceed to second financial envelope Astilla Construction for contract ID number 26ID0047. TWG, please confirm that the envelope you are holding is the financial envelope of Astilla Construction and Supply.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is the second or the financial envelope of Australia Construction and Supply for contract ID number 26IG0047. You will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents.
Okay, you will proceed and announce the presence or absence of the required financial documents, and Secretariat can record the entries in the final checklist on screen in the minutes.
Bid form, check. Bill of quantities, check. Summary of bid prices, check. Detailed estimates, check. And cash flow by quarter, check. For Astilla Construction and Supply, the required financial documents are complete and in order for the purpose of preliminary examination and the total bid price is not exceed the ABC, subject to the detailed bid evaluation and relevant corrections.
Okay, thank you. So bid amount for Astilla Construction and Supply in words, 4,948,745 pesos and 16 centavos. In words, 4,948,745 pesos and 16 centavos. In figure 4,948,745 period 16. In figure 4,948,745 period 16. These bid prices are bids as read only and shall be reflected in the abstract of bids as read for contract ID number 26IG0047. No bidder is declared LCB or LCRB at this stage. Detailed bid evaluation, arithmetic correction, verification, and post-qualification shall follow in accordance with the IRR and the bidding documents. So for contract ID number 26IG0049, which is the construction of two-story multi-purpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay Bayabas, Abuyog, Leyte. The approved budget for the contract is in Philippine pesos in the amount of 4,949,975 pesos and 57 centavos, inclusive all applicable taxes. Secretariat will state for the record which bidders were rated passed in the first technical envelope stage and whose second financial envelopes will be opened.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So for contract ID 26IG0049, all participating bidders, namely RAB Builders and Steel Construction, rated pass under Agenda 2 and are cleared for opening of their second envelope under this agenda.
Okay, we now proceed with the second financial envelope of RAB Builders for contract ID number 26IG0049. TWG, please confirm that the envelope you are holding is the financial envelope of RAB Builders.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we confirm that this is valid for the financial envelope of RAB Builders. In your permission, we will open the envelope and conduct a preliminary check of financial.
Okay, TWG may proceed and announce the presence or absence of the required financial documents, and Secretariat can record the entries in the final checklist on screen and in the minutes.
For Rob Builders and Supply, the second order of financial envelope for contract ID number 26IG 749, we will now examine the following against the checklist of the required documents.
Okay, please do proceed.
Bid form, check. Summary of bid prices. Bill of quantities, check. Detailed estimates, check. Cash flow by quarters. For Rock Builders and Supply, the required financial documents are complete and in order for the purpose of preliminary examination of the total bid price is not exceed the ABC, subject to the detailed bid evaluation and the remedy correction.
Okay, thank you. So for Rob Builders and Supply, bid amount in words, 4,942,900 pesos only. 4,942,900 pesos only. In figure 4,942, 900 period 00. In figure 4,942, 900 period 00. We now proceed with the second financial envelope of Silk and Steel Construction for contract ID number 26IG 0049. And TWG, please confirm that the envelope you are holding is the financial envelope of Silk and Steel Construction.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this is the second financial envelope of Silk and Steel Construction for contract ID number 26IG 0049. We will now examine the following entities of the required documents.
Okay, TWG, you may proceed and announce the presence or absence of the required financial documents, and Secretariat can record the entries in the final checklist on screen and in the minutes.
Bid form, check. Bill of quantities, check. Detailed estimates, check. Cash flow by quarter, check. For Silk and Steel Construction, the required financial documents are complete and in order for the purpose of preliminary examination, and the total bid price does not exceed the ABC, subject to the detailed bid evaluation and relative correction.
Okay, thank you. So for Silk and Steel Construction, bid amount in words, 4,948,674 pesos and 61 centavos. In words, 4,948,674 pesos and 61 centavos. In figure 4,948, 674 period 61. In figure 4,948, 674 period 61. These bid prices are bids as read only and shall be reflected in the abstract of bid as read for contract ID number 26IG 0049. No bidder is declared LCB or LCRB at this stage. Detailed bid evaluation, arithmetic correction, verification, and post-qualification shall follow in accordance with the IRR and bidding documents. So that's all for Agenda 3. We now proceed to Agenda 4, which is the comments, reactions from bidders and back members. The floor is open to any participating bidder, observer, or back member who wishes to place on record any comment, clarification, or observation regarding the opening of bids and preliminary examination conducted today. Kindly state your name, company, firm, agency, and the contract ID to which your comment refers. From the back. Okay, from the DPWH. So, Mr. Secretariat, the observers online or the other parties involved?
Mr. Chair, for the record, only one person is currently watching our live stream and there are no comments or messages, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Are there any further comments or reactions? There being none, agenda 4 is closed. So let's go to the final portion of this activity, which is the adjournment. Are there other matters to be discussed?
Yes, Mr. Chair, reminder, this afternoon, we have a deliberation of the bid evaluation report for batch 4 at 2 p.m.
Okay, noted, Secretariat. There being other matters for discussion, may I hear a motion to adjourn this opening of bids?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Any objection? There being no objection, this opening of bid is adjourned at 11:18 in the morning at June 25, 2026.